Hey guys, I'm Youshaei. I work at Instagram, and I'm so excited to be here today to talk to you about how you can use video and IGTV to get ahead. I spent the past 5 years working at YouTube, the past year at Instagram, so you could say I've learned a thing or two about what it means to make online videos. And I know if you're tuning in here today, it means you're hungry for the tools, the tactics, the templates, and all the good stuff to learn about how you can use video to grow your following and engage people way more than you may be doing today. So today, I want to talk a little bit about what's changed in terms of IGTV in the past year, how you can use it to get ahead, different case studies, because let's face it, if you ended your videos in the same way that Hollywood ended their movies with end credits, it would look a little something like this. You're the director, you're the producer, you're the actor, you're the marketing manager, you're the community manager, you're doing so many different things, you're wearing so many different hats, and it's hard to know what's really worth your time. So today I want to talk about why IGTV is worth your time and how you can use it to get ahead. So a question I often get asked is why IGTV and what's been changing in the past year since we launched? Well, the answer is threefold. First, IGTV is immersive. Now, I know we've talked a lot about IGTV being vertical only, but in the past few months, we actually introduced support for landscape, which means you can make your videos however feels most comfortable, and your viewers can watch them in a way that feels most comfortable, whether that's vertical or horizontal. So they're immersed either way with full screen video. The second reason is that IGTV is longer form. Not only does that mean that IGTV is longer than feed, which is only capped at a minute, or stories, which is capped at 15 seconds, but we're actually building out an entire destination right in the Instagram app for you to go and browse. And we've seen so many viewers go to this destination, find new content, so that way your discovery is amplified even more. But the third thing, and I'd also say the most important thing, is that the secret sauce of IGTV is that it's connected to IG. And what we mean by that is that there's so many different ways that we've tried to make IGTV and IG work together in the past year, so I wanted to call out a few of them today. First and foremost is that IGTV now can be previewed in feed. What that means is you can take the first 60 seconds of your video, preview that in feed, and by the way, you can also get your views and comments counted across both. It's kind of like a 2-for-1 special if you think about it that way. Also, IGTV and stories are working in a way that they haven't done before. We launched a story sticker in the past year that lets you put your IGTV video in the stories so people can click on it and your audience can also share your videos. So make sure to encourage them to do so on the CTA. And then lastly, you may have noticed that there's this huge tile in the Explore page that's dedicated to IGTV. That has brought in so much traffic and has brought in so much added discovery. So that way IGTV and IG continue to work together. All right, now that we've talked about some of the changes and features that we've launched in the past year, I want to get into my favorite part of the presentation, which is all about how to use those tools and features to get ahead and grow your following. And I think one of the best ways to talk about it is by showing an example. So I thought we could talk about a creator named Vincent Marcus who's building his business and brand on IGTV and growing his following. And just so you get a little bit of a taste of how Vincent produces content on IGTV, I thought I'd show you this video where Vincent impersonated different rappers singing to the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song.
Now this is a story all about how my life got flipped, turned upside down, and I like to take a minute, just sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a town called Bel Air.
And fun fact about that video, Will Smith himself actually saw it, reposted it on his Instagram, and it's actually one of his most popular videos to date. So it kind of is awesome to see the new stars and old stars all interact on Instagram and IGTV. But to get back to the tactics, I want to call out 3 specific things that Vincent and so many other stars that are growing on IGTV are doing differently so you could do the same and grow as the platform grows. The first step is to use stories to workshop your material. So another popular question that we often get asked is what type of content should I upload on IGTV? And if I had to give a simple answer, it'd be think format first. And here are a few examples. Vincent Marcus has a series where he and his girlfriend try out different things like sushi making, baking, trying on different clothes, and it's the same format, so you expect that throughout their series on IGTV. Mariah Carey is also uploading exclusive content on IGTV. She has a series of prank call videos where you could expect the format to be her dialing her friends, using a funny voice, and people can always expect laughs and see a different side of her. And lastly, there's this other awesome series that I love called I Weigh, which comes from Jamila Jamil, where she interviews different people like Sam Smith and Lizzo and talks about sensitive topics like body positivity and mental health. And that series also does really well on IGTV because people come to it and know what to expect. So when it comes to IGTV, think format first. And a follow-up question that I often get to that is like, well, John, what kind of format do I or should I create for IGTV? How do I know? And that's where stories come in. Stories is like the workshop to your studio that is IGTV. So I want to talk a little bit about how Vincent Marcus has used stories to help his IGTV content flow. First, he uses poll stickers to get feedback on new ideas, sketches, and routines before he goes into the entire production process of IGTV. In this way, he gets to test it out when maybe he's in a little bit of doubt. And the other thing we've seen him do is just use the question sticker and put out an entire question to his audience and asking, hey, what type of content or what episode would you like to see me put out on IGTV? And he said that the feedback from that question has really helped give him direction in terms of what kind of stuff he should put on IGTV, and also helps bring his audience along the creative journey so they're more excited about the output at the end of the day. And remember, with stories, it lasts 24 hours, so there's really no stress. Test it out, see what works. Don't invest a lot of production time into it in the beginning, but then when you're getting more DMs, more quick replies, more responses to those ideas and stories, take that and run with it in IGTV to develop your format so people can know what to expect. Here's another specific example from Vincent Marcus. So he put out this question sticker asking his audience, what song should I sing? And then somebody came back to him and said, hey Vincent, why don't you sing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but sung by Khalid. So he did exactly that. And that inspired a new idea where he sang all these nursery rhymes from our childhood, but using the voices of different stars and his amazing impressions that he has. So it was like Dr. Dre singing Humpty Dumpty and Eminem singing the Itsy Bitsy Spider, and that video did incredibly well. So again, using stories to inform your IGTV content. So if I had to break it down in terms of a checklist, I'd say 1, use poll and question stickers to survey your audience when in doubt. 2, show a different side of yourself than you do on feed and stories video. And lastly, develop a theme for your IGTV videos so people can know what to expect, especially if they discover you through Explore. Step 2 is to produce with purpose. Now, what does that mean? It means that there's certain building blocks that make great IGTV videos once you've thought about what format you want to create. And those 4 building blocks of different videos are the teaser, the title screen, the cliffhanger, and the call to action. So I want to get super specific and talk about what that means in terms of this video from Vincent Marcus. So if you take a look at the first 3 seconds, that's where Vincent has really lined up his teaser. There's a little bit of a flash forward, he tells you what this video is going to be about, and sets expectations so he gets people past that 3-second mark and counts the view. Then he has a title screen. And this is super important because it shows your format in a really visual way and tells your viewers, hey, this is part of a greater series. So if I like this episode 1, maybe I should come back for episode 2 and 3 when Vincent uploads them later. And you get habitual viewers. The third part, and the most important, is the cliffhanger. And this comes at the 60-second mark. Why 60 seconds? Well, when you preview your video in feed, the 60-second mark is the cutoff. So when people watch your video in feed, they see this button at the end that asks them to continue watching on IGTV. So if you have a cliffhanger there, it encourages them to continue on and watch the rest of the video full screen. And lastly is the call to action. Now, we all know having a call to action at the end of the video is super important, but I want to call out something specific to IGTV and Instagram, which is encouraging people to share to stories. So encourage them to hit that paper airplane button, share in their stories, because we've seen that this is the way a lot of creators and brands get added distribution, and it's not being utilized a ton today, so you could get in on the ground floor. All right, to sum up this section, to produce with purpose, remember 4 things. 1, have your teaser in the beginning in the first 3 seconds. 2, have your title screen to speak to your format. 3, make sure to have that cliffhanger at the 60-second mark to work with your feed previews. And 4, make sure to encourage story sharing specifically in your CTA. The next and final section is all about promoting your video like it's a premiere. Now, what does that mean? It means that you gotta think about the artwork and the thumbnails and the title that go along with the video, because it baffles me how many brands and creators I meet who spend so much time on their video but don't spend the same amount of time on their cover photo and thumbnail and title, when so many of those things are the gateway to get the click to bring people in. So I want to talk about how you could get ahead on those fronts as well. All right, so first let's talk about thumbnails. And again, I want to bring in a specific example from Vincent Marcus to show you what separates the good from the bad. A good thumbnail looks like this one. It's Vincent Marcus's face, it's zoomed in, you can see some emotion, and you can see what the video is going to be about before we click on it. A bad thumbnail looks like this. It's a blurry still, it's kind of caught in the middle of 2 scenes, there's not exact framing. So I always encourage creators and brands to take an extra moment at the end of your shoot to take a photo for your cover photo or your thumbnail that will be as engaging as something you may put on your feed. And now let's talk about headline. So the key with your headline is those first 3 words, because IGTV truncates it quite a bit. So you can take a look at this one video that Vincent had that said Daft Punk Beatbox Remix. And you could tell if he had phrased that differently, it would not have been as engaging. Imagine he phrased it remix of songs from Daft Punk. Would people who were interested in Vincent probably still click on this video? Yeah. But would people who are interested in Daft Punk be as likely to click on it? Probably not, because the words Daft Punk get truncated and lost if they're not put in the beginning of the title. So always think about those first 3 words as being the holy grail to having a great headline on IGTV, so you get those added clicks when your video is surfaced in Explore as well as Browse. And the last part of promoting your video like it's a premiere is using all 4 video surfaces across Instagram as one. And what I mean by that is using Stories, Feed, and Live alongside IGTV. So I wanted to give this breakdown of how Vincent and many other successful creators build anticipation before their IGTV video, what they do when they upload the IGTV video, and what happens afterwards. So before, creators like Vincent and brands tend to use stories to show different behind-the-scenes clips of their video that's coming up on IGTV. And then a really interesting thing we're seeing is that they're using the countdown sticker to drive notifications, so when their video drops, their audience is already there. And then, like we talked about before, when uploading, they make sure to preview their video and feed, so they count those views and comments across both surfaces. And then after the video, they encourage sharing to their stories via the sticker that we talked about. And then we've seen a lot of creators and brands go live afterwards to point back to the video, drive traffic, as well as respond to the comments that may come in. So by using these different services alongside IGTV, you can start to get more views, follows, and engagement. All right, so the checklist for this section is as follows. First, make sure to customize your thumbnail. Second, make sure to focus on the first 3 words in your headline because the rest gets truncated. 3, make sure to build anticipation with stories, specifically the countdown sticker. And 4, make sure to preview the feed so you get those views and comments counted across both. With that, I want to say thanks so much for tuning in. It's been a blast talking to you about IGTV. If I could ever be helpful, feel free to reach out or DM at any time. And I know we have some popular questions from you guys, so I want to take a moment to field those now.
Hey guys, it's Taylor from Later. I'm here with John Youshaei from Instagram. We've just learned so much about IGTV, so we wanted to ask him some of our audience's burning questions.
Let's do it.
So first up, is there an optimal length for IGTV videos? And then is there an optimal cadence? Like how often should people be posting to IGTV?
Yeah, we get that question about what's the best length, what's the best cadence for IGTV videos all the time. And it really depends on the different creators and brands. I've seen people be very successful uploading daily, people being very successful uploading weekly. And I think it really comes down to how do you think about IGTV versus stories and feed, with stories being your vlog, feed being your highlights, live being your meetups, and then IGTV being your series. And taking a look at your analytics and the retention to make sure that you're feeding your audience what they want in terms of optimal length.
Yeah, I love what you said there about, the different areas, because there's so much video all over Instagram. It can be a little overwhelming sometimes to decide what video content goes on which medium. So how can people kind of decide they have a great piece of video content, should it live on their stories, or when do they know it should be IGTV or their feed?
Yeah, it's a great question in terms of what video goes where, whether it's stories, feed, live, or IGTV. And I think the last thing we talked about in terms of using them in parallel, stories to help workshop and build anticipation, using the polling, countdown, and question sticker, feed being the place you preview and show that highlight of your IGTV video, and then live being almost like a digital meetup to answer the questions and comments that you get on that IGTV video and to be able to draw traffic back to it. And we see creators and brands who use all 4 of those really well start to get the benefit of greater distribution and greater following.
That's amazing. So you were talking earlier about IGTV themes and how people can use those to kind of build their series out. Is there any examples of some sticky themes you've seen be really successful on IGTV?
Yeah, and it really doesn't take much. I think if you think about what are the sticky themes and formats that are working today in terms of your question, it could be something as simple as ordering a 1-star product off of Amazon and reviewing it, which is a show that's called 1 Star with Anwar. I love it, it's hilarious. He's a great creator on the platform. You can do a cooking show like What's Cooking with Lele Pons. We've seen a lot of big stars also lean into the platform with different formats like Moments with Mimi, which is Mariah's prank call show that we talk about, or even Billie Eilish does this on-tour series that she takes us behind the scenes and just shows a different side of her that we don't really always see on feed or stories. So I think those are great formats and series to look at as you're trying to think of your own, as well as asking your own audience in your stories, hey, what should I put out there? What's something that you want to expect to see from me on IGTV?
Amazing. Well, thank you so much
course,
for
Taylor.
joining
Yeah,
us,
thanks for having
John.
me.
I can't wait to check out all of your guys' IGTV content. You know, maybe feel free to tag you on their
Yeah,
Instagram posts.
I
so
love
you can see
seeing your
it.
content, and feel free to tag, DM, share. Like, I always like to reply and check it out, so don't hesitate to reach out if we could ever be helpful.
Awesome. See you later, guys.
See you guys.